acrylic painting and artness. So, welcome in. I hope you're having an amazing day so far. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will be having a great time here, and I'm just so excited that you're along for the ride. I guess I forgot I needed to actually use the back camera for this. It's kind of funny, right? So hold on a second. I've got the wrong camera. Let's see. Boom. And how did I do this last time? I think it was pretty much like this. Basically. Wonder if this will work. Almost. Whoa, hello, there's my arm. Welcome to the stream. Here's my arm. That's a nice arm. It served me well. Okay, I think this is about where I want to try it to start. Let's see if that works. Hi, Gardenia Goo. Hello, Bob. Welcome in. I hope you're having a great day. How are things? Hi, Mohammed. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. So we are going to work some more on our artness stuff. In theory, that's what we're trying to do today. So I actually thought that I kind of wanted to add like a few things to the background here before we solidify this. So we'll probably only work on this a little bit today. I still didn't make it to get more yellow yet. Haven't made it to the store. But I'm sure we'll still have a great amount of progress. As much as we can anyway, right? Heartness Mohammed. Heartness Gardenia Goo. Heartness Bob. Super Heartness. Yay. All right. I have another selfie stick that'll hold my chat phone for me. So today technically starts my spring break, which is pretty cool. I still have a lot of work I have to do during spring break, but I don't have to actually go to class for a week, so that's nice. Hi, Jeff. Is it okay to get paint on your shirt? I'll try really hard not to. I will try really hard not to, Jeff. How you doing today, friend? I don't want to get paint on my shirt. Gardenia Goose says, super heartness, super heartness. Woohoo. Okay, this'll work. Oops. I was trying to think of a way where I could make the shot where you could see my face a little better and see the painting. Unfortunately, without somebody actually holding the camera for me, I don't know how I'm going to do that. Turtle said he would hold the camera for me, but then now he's not here, so I don't know if he's going to be able to or not. Maybe next week or something. I need a cameraman. Hi, New Warden. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Hi, Irish Cat Legend. Welcome in. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing good. Jeff says, I'm good. Does your spring break involve a chainsaw? I hope so. We'll see if there's any chainsaws for spring break. What kind of a spring break would it be without a spring chainsaw? Anyway, miss you too, Irish Cat Legend. I'm happy you made it in. Very happy that you made it in. So let's see. I think this might be a little high. And it also needs to go a little bit more this way, maybe. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay, so now we can see the painting. Aw, Irish Cat, that's so sweet. Jeff says, note, Dahlia's merch isn't holographic. We really need to work on that, don't we? I wonder if the company that I use, Fourth Wall, is able to do some sort of holographic paint. I could write and ask. I'm ready to redo my merch at this point. I was going to work on some designs when I get my computer straightened away. I have 3 papers to write this week and a chapter of Spanish I have to learn, like an entire chapter of vocabulary and grammar and stuff. But hopefully I'll have some time to work on the computer stuff this week amongst all that. Hopefully. And we are still doing our stream tomorrow and Monday as well, so we'll be on Twitch doing our New Vegas streams. Hi, Demos Puppets. Welcome in. How are you? Or Demos. Hello, not Harley's. How are you? Harley Sawyer here. I am wondering if you are an artist. So I am an artist. I dabble in all sorts of things. I dabble in graphic art, videos, acrylic, oil. Those are like my main mediums. I would say lately making film and videos have been my main art and graphic art. However, I've been getting back into painting again. So we're kind of starting, we have the background of an acrylic painting going here. And one thing I've been doing is when people monetarily support any of my channels, because I stream here on YouTube, I also stream on Twitch, and I have TikTok as well, then they get a heart in the Heartness Artness. And this actually ends up getting gessoed over, so it's the base of the next painting. So like this is one that's in the process of being gessoed, and it had a bunch of hearts you can still see because it's not that gessoed yet. And this actually has a bunch of hearts underneath it. So the idea is that if you monetarily support the channel, you end up becoming the base of a piece of art forever. And so that's kind of just a thing we do. So here on Saturday mornings, we've been making a little bit of progress each time on all of these little things. And then otherwise, I actually make a lot of gaming content and some IRL content where I go on like real life adventures and take everybody. Demos says, what's your TikTok? So my TikTok is at Dahlia the Hologram. I have not done a lot with that lately. I'm going to be working on new content on there soon, so definitely give it a follow, check out what I have. However, right now, I will say that you might notice that it hasn't had a lot of stuff recently, and that's just because I still have to do some stuff on there. But I've had it for years, so there's enough to at least like look at. Not Harley says, that's pretty cool. How about you? Are you an artist, Not Harley? Damo says, I draw surrealism. That's so cool. I love that. Surrealism is one of my favorite styles of art, to be honest. I absolutely love Salvador Dali. There's a Salvador Dali museum here in Tampa. It's actually technically in St. Pete. And it's really cool. So, and you're allowed to film in there, which is very unusual for an art gallery. So maybe I'll like very quietly IRL stream in there or something sometime. But that's the only art gallery I've ever been in where they let you film and take pictures. And I think that that's pretty cool. So I'm not a great artist. As far as professionally, I definitely consider myself more of like a professional videographer and like content creator, but I don't consider myself a professional painter. That's just kind of where my art journey started. Damo says, I also draw weird core. Awesome. I'd love to see some of your stuff. Jeff says, consider painting in Bob Ross cosplay. I love that so much, Jeff. I would 100% do that. Irish says, I told Hardy about the Starfield Goth. I gave Hardy a good laugh on it. That's awesome. And Damos Puppet says, I also do sketch art. That's so cool. So let's see. As Jeff pointed out, I'm not wearing my apron today. I don't know if I should grab it or not. Probably I should, but I don't think I'm going to. So what I was thinking was, I want to give this the feel of being a little bit holographic or in computer code or something. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more to the background before we start finalizing the portrait in the center. And I think what I want to do with that is add a green. If I have like a neon green. Where's my neon green? Let me look through my paint colors. Irish says, I told Hardy about the goth funny girl moment in Starfield that happened. That was such a good time. Damo says, I don't really use my oh-ho-ho markers for drawing, but only for my dragons. And Irish says, goth girl became the owner of the bank. Yes. That's so cool. You make dragons. I love dragon art, honestly. I think dragon art is so cool. Good morning, Labyrinth. How are you doing? It's great to see you. Hope you're having an amazing day. We are going to be looking to see what different colors of art I have or paint I have of my cheap acrylic paints. So this is like bright red. I don't think that this is really going to help me right now. A couple of bright reds. Kind of a rose metallic pink. Ooh, I mean, I like this because it's metallic. So I'm actually going to put this aside as a maybe. Do I have any more metallics over here? Silver, which I assume is kind of metallic. Then we've got purple and yellow and green. Like, these are the right colors, but I don't know that I like their matte pastel feel. I really kind of want to go for more of a neon feel here. Here's a dark sap green. I don't know. Hi, Silver. How you doing? Hi, Sandra. Welcome in. How are you? Thank you for following, Damos. It's great to have you. I really appreciate it. Irish says, I hope you can get a new computer someday. I actually have my computer. I just have to do some more maintenance on it, but it's up and running again. I was able to fix it. I just can't stream from it yet because I'm going to have to rebuild my whole stream. Silver says, hi, how are you doing? I mostly made it. Are you live? Yes. I think. Can Silver not see me? Silver says, I was watching my daily Cleveland Browns podcast at 11 a.m. and it ended and went to your stream. Oh, that's so cool. That's great. I'm happy that it worked out like that. But yes, it's me. I am live. Hi, Lucas. Welcome in. Great to see you. How you doing? Happy Saturday. So let's see. Orange and browns. It's interesting that I'm like unintentionally pulling up really similar colors at the same time. Dark purple and blue. I mean, this dark blue might come in handy, but I don't. I meant to get to the store and also get some medium to mix into these so that I could add some gloss effect. However, I never made it to the store. So, like I said, we'll get as much done as we can. Ooh, here's another metallic. But we may not get a ton done. Damo says, Dahlia, what should I draw? How about a hologram? Irish Cat Legend says, Dahlia's systems are online. Lucas is doing well, thanks. Hope you and the Fluffiness God are doing well. We're doing great. Fluffiness God will probably come in here later. Silver says, when I started watching it, you were not live yet. Must have been live within minutes after. Nice. Yeah, I was a little late today. I tried so hard to get on time today. I keep trying. One of these days I'm going to start being on time and you guys are not going to be here because you're not going to expect it. Maybe my OC. Yeah, that would be cool. I was going to say a self-portrait, but if you have an OC, then that'd be really cool to draw as a hologram. Tell us about your OC. Silver says, glad you were late. Otherwise, I might have missed you. It all worked out in the end, huh? So I don't think I'm really seeing exactly what I want. This is getting a little closer. What else do we have in that realm? This is a nice color. Metallic green. Okay, so we'll try this, but it may not, I don't think it's really as bright as I wanted. I really need some medium to kind of kick up what I'm trying to do. Damo says, well, my OC is an ENA-based character. Please tell me what ENA stands for. Silver says, my sleep schedule is off. Up very late recently playing marbles. Slept until 4 p.m. yesterday. Was up late last night, but did not play marbles. Just listened to YouTube videos and played Tainted Grail. I feel ya. I've been up too late also. I think the time change is partly what did it, because now it's like everything's an hour later than you're used to. So I've been accidentally staying up till 1 or 2 every single day and still having to get up at like 5:30 to give a family member a ride. So I've been getting barely any sleep, but today I finally got some sleep. Yesterday was really hard because it was like a whole week of that, a whole week of 4 or 5 hours of sleep, or maybe even less. Like I think I got 3 hours a couple of nights. I really have to figure out how to get my sleep schedule under control, especially because hopefully if I get into the university I won't really have any room to screw around because it'll be a long drive each way every day. Silver says, or actually, sorry, I already read that one. Marbles did it for me. Nah, I've been up till 6, 7 a.m. Well, I'm happy you're getting so into marbles. You're going to have to show us the ropes once we get the computer back up. Damo says, I've got 2 more characters. And Irish says, I got up around 3 after falling asleep. Jeff says, 6, 7, really? Damo says, it's a web series. Is it just called ENA, or is ENA a short for something? Metallic purple, we might be able to use this. Hi, Joshua, welcome. Joshua says 6, 7. Just ENA, okay, I'll have to look it up. Silver says, but I need to go back to sleeping 3 to 4. That works for me, right? Lucas says, my sleep is off too. I'm always waking up at 3 a.m. for like 2 weeks now. Aw. I hope you can start sleeping better. Here's silver acrylic. It's silver and acrylic. Yay. Here's bright green. This is a good green if I had a medium, but I don't have a medium to mix it with. The time change can be annoying at first, but you get used to it. Yeah, eventually. It's just really hard to get started on it again. Magenta. Gumi's always like joking about magenta. I almost have to keep magenta in my possibilities for her as a joke. Hookers green, what? I didn't know hookers had their own green. Ultramarine blue, yes. When did I become silver acrylic? Just now. Crimson red. That doesn't look that crimson-y to me. Orange red. That looks just orangey to me, but I guess I can see a little bit of red in there. Deep yellow. And this is raw umber. Gotta have raw umber. That's actually a very important color, especially in oil. But we're not painting in oil, we're painting in acrylic. So that's the acrylics that I have. I do need to go to the store and get different colors for the things that I'm lacking. But we will just work with what I have today. Make the most of it. Lucas, thank you for 28 months as a YouTube member. That means so much to me. Thank you for buying my face. Thank you, Lucas, for buying my face. Now you can stamp it all over the place. Thank you for buying my face. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Lucas, for buying my face. Super duper heartness. You're amazing. Thank you. And thank you for 28 months as a holographic helper. It means so much to me. Damo says the first one is like an Indian American tribe member, and the second is like an entity inside a box, which is weird core based. Cool. Irish says, do you pay it? Well, they make green. All right, let's see. Where's the book? The book of amazing, awesome people who get heartness artness. Where's that book? I think it's right here. I found it. It's right here. I'm gonna write Lucas. La 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 la. We're writing Lucas in the book. Lucas. Booze. YouTube. 28 months. Yay. All right. You're in the book. Officially. Labyrinth says, Hope the Mayor, pleasure to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Yay! You're in the book. You made it to the book. Ow. You're in the book. I found a hooker green. Ow. Mom, I'm in the book. Yay! That's amazing. Did I have some more art stuff in here? I can't remember. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. So let's see. This is good here. I think I don't really love this shot. We're still just doing the best we can here, but it's just not perfect. I think that's a little better because it's a little closer. Well, let's see what I can do. I'll try not to block the painting with my head this time. I was rewatching the stream from last week, and that was my biggest complaint, is that like when I was actively painting, you couldn't see the painting because I was blocking it. So all you saw was the back of my head until I can afford a cameraman. I'll just have to use my tripod. Lol. Damo says, let's lower thy cam. See, that's about as low as it can go. Maybe I can get it a little bit lower. We'll work with this. See how it goes. Lucas says, Lisa Simpson hidden in a yellow bush. Damo says, but you'll have to pay him. Yes. Train Gertie to use the camera. I know. I need to do that. Just like put a little vest on him that holds up the camera and he can run around and be cute. That would be so awesome. I would want to just like see what he sees anyway. You know how sometimes people put a camera on their pet or on their toddler or something and just let them run around? If I ever get one of those little cameras that fits on people, on little things, I'm gonna do that. Damo says, good, needs to hold thy cam. Damo says, peace is nice. Peace is nice. Peace is nice. Peace is better than chicken and rice. Peace, peace, peace. Nice, nice, nice. Peace, peace, chicken, chicken, rice, rice, rice. Yay, super harness. Damo says Invader Zim. I love Invader Zim. Okie dokie, so let's see here. It is time to prepare the paints. This one feels the most like what I'm looking for. What if I mixed it with silver and saw what that looked like? I'm gonna try. I don't know if it'll work or if it'll just look bad, but I'm gonna try it. Now, which silver is most metallic? That one's very just silvery. Silver, you're making it onto the painting. Have you guys seen the Xbox announced about the AI co-pilot? Apparently Xbox will have an AI that will interact with you in real time when you are playing and giving hints about the game. Telling you what to do, exactly what we were asking for. Not. Ugh. Right? What's the point of playing a game, like, if you're not figuring it out? Of course, I can see how over the generations that's kind of shifted. Like, when we were kids, it was all about the puzzles and stuff. And now these kids that are being kids right now, they actually just kind of treat games more like a book and they just work through the content. They don't really, like, actually solve anything. I mean, that's not true for every single game, but that's a lot more common than it used to be. Let's see what this looks like. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna go with this. This will work. So this is the color I've created, mixing silver with the most closest to neon green I have. It's all right. It's got a little bit of that shine in it, which is very important. So let's see. Gotta work fast. Gotta work fast. I just need a little brush, tiny, tiny. Gotta work fast, gotta work fast. La 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 la. I have to work fast. Let me show you what I'm thinking. Do 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 do. I don't know. This is not coming out like I imagined. I actually think, amazingly enough, that this brush is too thick. I really need just a tiny little line. This might be a little better. I still think this is too thick. But I'm going with it now because it's on there, so. It kind of looks more like the yellow than I wanted it to be honest. It looks way more like the yellow than I expected. It'll be okay. It still adds a nice extra vibe. I did not do any test runs on this. Sometimes I do stuff in my sketchbook before I put it on canvas to kind of test how I'm going to do it. And I did not do that because I've been very busy, so I guess it's my own fault. I think that's okay, though. It adds a little bit of extra dimension to what I was doing, which was kind of the point. And I think I can leave it just as it is and then eventually add some of the other things I was thinking of. Damo says, I don't like AI. It's just to make us lazy. Lucas says, lazy and stupid. There with their sparkle emoji is the symbol. Kazuki! Thank you! How are you doing, my friend? It's so good to see you. Ice Cube's Alien remake dubbed as the worst film of the year. I did not see it. Heard it was bad. I didn't even hear about it. It's just a few steps away from AI creating a game. The word of it is that they implement this thing and no one asked for, but doing it will increase hardware price for this AI to work so that they can increase the price of the console. Kazuki says, Konnichiwa, my headphones didn't get properly plugged in and it sounded like robotic, though. Dahlia actually talking like hologram. I'm a hologram. How are you doing today, Kazuki? Labyrinth says, I want to see that movie about an AI judge. And Damo says, I recommend The Trash Can. Lol. Kazuki says, I'm doing good. Awesome. Well, that'll be okay. It's not the worst thing that's ever happened to a painting. Not the best, not the worst. I just realized I forgot to bring paper towels in here, but that's all right too. So in that case, for the rest of this paint, I think I'm just going to run it down the sides and see what it looks like that. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, it's coming out so much more yellow than I expected, which I guess kind of makes sense because I added a lighter color to green. But when it's on the paint holder, it looks it looks green, so an unexpected addition to the painting. At least it's not just a completely different color that doesn't fit. So it could be worse, right? $50,000 for charity, $50,000 for this. 100 caps. Hi, Beanie, how you doing? I would pay 5,000 caps for the painting if we were in the Commonwealth. No, wait, 10,000 caps. Thanks, Lucas. Damo says, also happy Kangaroo Machine Day. Dahlia just now tried to sound demonic. I heard that and recorded it. Oh no, send me the recording, lol. Damo says, for AI, the trash can be their symbol. Hi, Tony, it's great to see you. Super Hardness, how you doing? Silver says, Iron Maiden's bass player Steve Harris turned 70 today. First band I saw live. That's so cool. Happy birthday to him. Well, if that's not going to work the way I thought, I guess I could try putting this other green amongst it a little bit before I completely give up. There's also just straight up metallic green. It might blend pretty well. I could do both, probably. Because I'm not completely ready to give up on this yet. Damo says 13 minutes till I have to leave for Rucka Rucka animated music video. Oh, cool. Kazuki says, when are we going to start Valheim server? I'm waiting for the update for so long. That sounds awesome, Kazuki. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Valheim, honestly. I got so burnt out playing it before, and now there's other games I enjoy playing. So I don't know if I will go back. But I'm interested to hear about all the fun you have. Is there any other game you would... Oh, I mean, I might play Once Human with you again sometime. I would go back to that game potentially. And if there's anything else that might come up. But I just, yeah, I still haven't recovered from how much I got burnt out on Valheim before. Lucas says, Valheim, the forever early access game. Damos is the tribe guy, the entity, or the ENA-based OC. ENA-based OC. Did anyone hear Arnold guess that Arnold is making 3 sequels, Predator, King Conan, and Commander 2? Cool. So let's try this just straight up metallic green, because my attempt at making a metallic green did not turn out the way I wanted. And I'm going to use an even thinner brush this time. This one might be good. It's like the thinnest tip that I think I have. I think. The problem is once it starts going, it just like spreads around. Okay, the OC with my username it is. Okay, Labyrinth Heartness. Thanks for being here. See you later. Yeah, that is really cool news, Silver. All right. This is a lot more specific. Oof. Okay, this might work. This color is also just kind of blending in. Although I don't know that that's a problem, really. I like this more than the thing I was doing before. Have I heard about the repo? Yeah, that looks really good. I might try that sometime. Good to see you, Damos. Have fun. Thanks for hanging out. Super heartness and happy drawing. Silver says, I've been wanting a true ending for Terminator forever. I actually have never seen those movies, I don't think. So I really don't know what ending they have now. So the main point of this is to like add some additional texture and stuff in the background and some additional contrast to what we've already done. Oh man, I can't get my hands steady enough. We're still just working on the background today. Hopefully over spring break I'll have time to set the outline for the painting I want to do inside the yellow. Maybe we could do an extra painting stream if I have time. The main game I've been playing lately is Pal World. I really love it. I'm near the end of it. I've been playing on a public server. I should be finished with it kind of soon, I guess, but I don't know. Since I'm one of the biggest people on the server, I think I'm getting ready to maybe open a store, so I may keep that going until 1.0 launch. I don't know. Anybody else still playing Pal World, or have you finished it in anticipation of the 1.0 launch? Because I know that's coming this year, but they haven't set a date for it yet. So we don't know when that's going to happen. This became way too thick. Oops. I think there is a Terminator project moving forward, but not sure Arnold is involved, Silver says. And Silver says Predator and Conan I kind of get, but Commander 2 is a little odd. That one seemed like a one-off movie. Lucas says, I never have tried Pal World. It's so fun. It's like all about having a zoo and a bunch of pets that help you. You would probably love it. And there's so many so cute pets. And Silver says, I have been wanting a true ending for Terminator forever. Silver says, I did not know there was an ending to Pal World. So, like, there is technically a goal in Pal World, and I'm getting close to the end. However, like, it's kind of like Ark, where the story is hidden throughout the world. You have to find different journals and read them. And then it's set up amongst hitting different bosses. So like, I think I have 2 main towers and then the final boss to conquer. But I also think that once you do that, the game doesn't end. You can still keep playing and farming your pals and interacting with other players and doing raids and stuff. I really like the raid system in that game because It is a difficult system, but it's also like you can do it with friends, or you can just bring your best pals and go do it by yourself. And that's something I really like, because I can just raid by myself. Right now I'm currently buffing up my best pals and breeding perfect versions of them to take the final couple of towers. And I've gotten really into breeding lately. So that's been fun. I can't wait to show y'all sometime on stream what I've been doing with Pal World. Silver said, or Lucas says, Silver, the Commando 1 was a fun movie to watch. I'm also still playing Dune Awakening here and there. And Fallout 76. Did you hear Fallout 76 is up for an award this year? Very excited for that. I hope they win. And I apologize, I forget the details of which award, but I just saw a post about it on X. But I did see that they're up for an award. That's not very steady. The paintings are, the lines are getting out of line. Help, the lines are out of line. What do I do? What do you do when your lines are out of line? Lucas says, I prefer watching movies with original sound these days, but movies from the 80s had amazing Portuguese voice actors that became iconic here in Brazil. And Arnold's voice is one. Cool. Okay. This is getting better. I have a little bit more of these random lines to make. This paint's almost gone. Should I do dots with this paint or dots of another color? Let me experiment with dots of this. I think I like that. This will be fine. Plus, it's a good use of the rest of what's here. Getting a perfect dot is kind of hard without it being too thick. You know, it's kind of funny, like when you get those print paintings from like a big store like Target or Walmart or something, and they have the fake little extra pieces of texture to make the painting look more real. I just realized that these dots are kind of giving that. I'm like, oh man, it's a real painting, I swear. The idea is that it looks like, you know how there's those images of code and it's like green and blue and code just like flashing across, and that's kind of what this is based on, although obviously it's not coming out exactly like that. Like I said, I didn't practice it before I put it up, but that's what I was thinking when I started this, is how do I kind of visualize that with acrylic paint. Hi Hunter, welcome back. How you doing? I do remember you. You were here last week. Silver says, even the voice actor for Homer Simpson passed away. Aw, was considered one of the best voices outside of the original by Matt Groening. Really iconic. R.I.P. to them. I did not know that. That's sad. How are you doing today, Hunter? Kind of having trouble studying my hand. Hunter says, good, how are you? I'm doing good. We're doing some more work on the background here today. Silver says, Lucas, not a lot of people have seen Arnold's first movie. It's called The Villain. Arnold plays handsome stranger. Kirk Douglas plays the villain. And it has scenes taken from Looney Tunes cartoons. Cool. Lucas says, have you guys seen the new Alien movie from Steven Spielberg trailer? Really, really intriguing and scary. It can get more obvious than that. They're practically throwing the answers at us. Oh my gosh. Hunter says, Spiky SpongeBob. Oh, Lucas, did you see that in Ohio, I think, there's been 6 back-to-back separate sightings of Bigfoot here over the last week? It's made national news on a bunch of different networks. But they're saying that it's like the first time since, I think, the 70s or something that there's been that many separate eyewitness accounts of a Bigfoot. And I guess some are saying they saw a really tall Bigfoot, like 10 feet, and some are saying they saw like a 6-foot tall Bigfoot. And who knows if that's just people misestimating, but one theory amongst experts is that a very big Bigfoot is trying to move towards a very small Bigfoot, you know, small being 6 foot. They appear in GTA games, so it's got to be true. Yeah, actually, these sightings line right up with the release of the Bigfoot in Fallout 76. So that's pretty cool. Lucas says, I believe in Bigfoot for real. I actually believe in Bigfoot for real, too, especially having grown up in the woods. And I've seen a Bigfoot track before. The area that I grew up in had 20 people see Bigfoot at once at like a hiking parking lot back in the 70s or 80s. And I think that was the most people that ever saw Bigfoot at once. However, it doesn't count as like multiple sightings, because I think the multiple sightings all being separate technically has more value, because like obviously somebody in a suit could have just showed themselves to 20 people is the argument there. However, there was an instance where like a bunch of people in a hiking parking lot saw Bigfoot. Hunter says, I have a shirt that I got in like 2025 or 2024. Nice. That still fits. Cool. All right, so I'm happy with what I did with this so far. And I like that I can see on the camera it actually looks more like what I intended, which is kind of cool. So I'm happy with that. I think I'm going to leave that alone. We might go ahead and work on this middle part a little bit more before we move on. When I finally do actually make the image here, I'm going to eventually add extra texture around the edges and stuff. So like this is not by any means the final background. I'm trying to make it to a point where I can add the image in the middle. Silver says, I thought Bigfoot in GTA was a rumor. What? That's so cool. So you can like randomly find him in GTA. Lucas says, jokes aside, there are theories that lots of mysterious species that simply choose to isolate themselves from humans. They are just there, you know, hidden from the chaos here. And I mean, that makes sense. What's so interesting though is like no bones ever being found. So I have also heard like the theories about Bigfoot traveling interdimensionally and stuff, and that's why there's no bones. And then when you start to go along that rabbit hole, it opens up, well, spiritually, does that mean that they're like a physical manifestation of something not human? Silver said, or Lucas says, silver in GTA, it's really hard to find, but they are there. So I wonder what it would look like if I just do a little bit of highlighting with this on there, because there's still places where you can like see the blue underneath, but I'm pretty much out of yellow. I never went to the store, so I'm still out of yellow, I think. This one actually was working pretty good though, wasn't it? Maybe we should add another base of this. So it's like I'm stuck between I don't want it to get too thick, and also I don't want there to just visibly be a lot of blank spots. I think we could do a little bit more yellow and see. It might be interesting to kind of try this lighter yellow and see what it comes out as. I could do it in a place where I could paint over it real quick if I don't like it. I don't know, Hunter. I'm not... Oh, a Buc-ee's? Are you talking about the gas station? Hunter says, yes, I love Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is great. Buc-ee's is yummy. All right, let's see. This is nice. All right, so yeah, maybe we'll just cover some of the blank spots with this. Kind of give it a highlight and see how that goes down. because I want to keep the brush strokes. I just don't want giant blank spots. Is this spot still not accepting paint? That's kind of nice because it kind of like adds a distraction to the blank spot, I feel like. How was it, Damos? Did you like it? Damos says, I never went to a Buc-ee's. And Hunter says, I know. I like to get the candy and dessert and soda from there. Their jerky is really good too, but it's very expensive, so I usually don't splurge on it. But if you can afford the jerky, it's really good. But it's very expensive. It's like 20 some dollars a pound or something. So usually I'm like, meh, not worth it to me. Damo says, sweet home Alabama. Hunter says, isn't Buc-ee's the gas station in Alabama? They do have one in Alabama. I've been to that one. They're originally from Texas. They have them in Florida too. Those are the ones I usually go to because I'm in Florida. Jamo says, do you see any swamp puppies? Sometimes. I love swamp puppies. They're basically my favorite animal, and I try to keep an eye out for them as much as I can because they're all around me, but they usually hide from people. Lucas says, my name's Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump. I come from Greenbow, Alabama. Damo says, I'm from Bulgaria. Cool. What's the weather like in Bulgaria today? I think this is really actually adding a lot of beauty to my painting. I'm happy that we're adding this extra highlight. This will be good. Hunter says, I'm not from Alabama. There's actually a gator farm pretty close to where I live. I had a membership to it 1 year and we did some IRL streams from there. I would like to get a membership to it again when I can afford it, and then we could go do more IRL streams, but it's pretty cool. And it's like basically a zoo. They do have some other stuff there too, like a sloth and some really beautiful tropical birds. It's a bird sanctuary. And some other reptiles, but the big focus is gators. They have a few crocodiles, like rare crocodiles as well. So that's always a cool place to go and kind of show everybody. It's sundown right now. Damo says aesthetically orange. So weird that this one spot doesn't want to accept paint. It's still kind of doing the same thing. Might just have to stop fighting it and accept it for who it is. Hunter says, I'm from Pennsylvania or somewhere close to that. Awesome. I've always wanted to go there. I need to get over to that side of the country. I want to go to Pennsylvania and I want to go to DC. And I want to see like all the founding fathers stuff. And the history of our country. And I want to see the classical Greek architecture of Washington, D.C. And the monuments and all that stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to take the yellow and hit the spots that are like in between the highlights. Gardenia Goo says, I've been there. It's definitely worth the trip. That's so cool. Hunter says, there's so much snow in the winter when it snows. I moved away from Colorado. I don't want to be around snow anymore. Silver says, same, he's crazy cool. Dubbed the American Steve Irwin. He has handled so many dangerous animals and walks the jungles barefooted. Do you watch Fishin' Garrett on YouTube? He calls gators the American Croc swamp puppies. Lucas says, I would love to have a Komodo dragon as a pet, but it would be total chaos to take them for a walk, I imagine. Right? Hi, how are you doing, Mahadis? Hope you're having a great day. Damo says, I want an alligator as a pet. I really love alligators too. Some people have them as pets here. I don't think it's legal, but they do. There was a guy at my school who has some property and kind of a farm and stuff, and he said that when he goes out towards the swamp, there's like 3 alligators that live out there, and he feeds them, and they're his pets. So some people do it. You definitely shouldn't if you're not like familiar with this area, and if you basically like, I don't recommend unless you've grown up here doing that basically, because it's dangerous. Like, you'll get eaten. But some people have been around it their whole lives and can totally do it properly without dying immediately, without getting their arm ripped off. Damo says, in my oblast, it doesn't snow really much. How are you doing, Mahadu-san? Mohadu-san's ghoul. Am I saying your name right? So let's add a little bit more yellow to this. Silver says, I'll leave the gators in the wild. And for the record, I also believe there's a law against feeding the gators. So just so y'all know, you could like get fined for that because it creates dangerous wildlife when you do that. I am just relaying what someone told me from my school that they did. Oh no, I've got yellow all over my hand now. Painter's hand. I have painter's hand. Help. This is old yellow, so it has to get stirred up. It's old yeller. It's kind of separated. All right. Let's add some more yellow in between now. And I think this should finalize the background today. So I really will be able to go in there and set up the outline for the painting. As long as I have time. I'm going to try to make time for it though. I think about this painting a lot and I wish I could come in here and do stuff on it more often. I just have been so busy with school and trying to keep everything else up at the same time. Lucas says, my gator would be called Gatorade. I love Gatorade. Lol. So yummy. Silver says, Fish and Garrett has lived in the Everglades area his whole life, so he's been collecting invasive species for years, trying to clean the Everglades of pythons and other harmful animals. He's a true hero. Silver says he goes out at night, can't believe how many bugs are flying around the Everglades at night. He says it's not bad as long as you don't breathe. Oh my gosh. Does he have like some sort of a mask on to prevent from accidentally breathing in all the little buggies? I heard there's a new giant lizard that's invasive that's been all around the southern Florida area lately. And it's big and it eats everything. And somebody said it's like a tornado, how fast it wraps around and moves. They can be like 7 feet long. So we have yet another giant reptile that's destroying the Everglades to worry about now. I forget what it was called. I just saw it in the news the other day. Silver says, I've seen his cameraman wearing one. Not sure if he does. Lucas says, Tooth Fairy's Nightmare is a great name for a gator. Oh my gosh. I love that, Lucas. That would be a great name for a gator. I've seen his camera one wearing one. Not sure if he does, Silver says. Today it's all about battling the steadiness. It's probably partly my position trying to make sure that the canvas is visible. It's really hard for me to keep a steady hand today. All right, I think this is the last stroke. Stroke midnight. That looks pretty good to me. And I like the way it looks on the camera. Silver says, seen footage of a gator trying to eat an electric eel. That eel hit the gator with about 500 volts, so it instantly killed the gator. I hate to say, but I kind of want to see that. Like, dang! I always forget that eels are electric. Thank you, Lucas. Silver says, seen... Oh, sorry, I read that already. Lucas says, I love your thumbnail today, Hologram, Dahlia. Beautiful smile, 10 out of 10. That's so nice of you to say. Okay, so this is good. Let's just leave this like this. I'll add additional work to the outline of it eventually. But I think it's in a position now where I don't know, I might need to fix that after this dries before I can sketch it in, but I'm getting really close to sketching it in. And then, like I said, when it's final, I'll add some more definition to the edges. So the blurry edges are not going to stay. It just has to be that way before I'm completely done, because I'm probably going to add texture to it and stuff, and that really needs to go on last. It's on YouTube. All right, so that's good. I think that we're done with that for now. We've made some good progress with making that closer to being ready to work on, to really start it. Everybody's been so patient waiting for the background to come together. I appreciate that. I love this. We've added a little bit of texture to the background. Let me get you guys a close-up of it. See the progress that we've made today. So this is more what it looks like now. We're getting there. This is the beginning of a good background, or I mean, it's almost the end of a good background. But yeah, this is it so far. And I think I'll actually move this down, and we will, well, I don't know. Are we going to do some gessoing? We can do a little bit of gessoing. We've got a lot to gesso, so never mind. I'll try to put this back where it was. Lucas says, I can see the price going up. It's worth a fortune. Thank you, Lucas. You're so sweet. I'm just doing this for fun, though, you know. Painting for fun. And to be creative. And I love the idea of the community being the foundation for the background forever. You know, I just think that that's cool. Inspired by how historians continue to like strip the layers off of Picasso's paintings and find more and more stuff underneath. I really could use more coffee though. I wonder if I can get more coffee. Being slow and patient with this is going to make it really beautiful. It's when I'm in a hurry with stuff that it ends up getting messed up. So even though it's taking forever, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I'm going to have to actually sketch out what I envision it to be now, though. That's going to be a lot of work. It'll be okay though. I think I'm going to take a very quick break. Lucas and Silver, can y'all please man the chat? Pardon me. Please man the chat. I am going to go see if I can make some more coffee and should I do that? Let me see. I actually just remembered I still have schoolwork that I'm behind on. So I might only do a little bit of pen painting. I really want to do some gesso too, though. I can't tell how long I've been on right now. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can look at this. I might have to do I think I kind of intended to do a shorter stream today, to be honest. And thanks, by the way, everybody, for liking the stream and subscribing as you go by. So we're probably going to skip gesso today just because I need to do a shorter stream, sadly. I am very sad to say. But we'll at least get a couple names in the heart before we end. So never mind, I won't take a break. We'll work a little bit on the new Heartness Artness, and then I'm going to have to end it so that I can do schoolwork. If you're not in the Discord already, please consider joining. There's the possibility that I may do an extra bonus stream over the next week because I might have some extra time in between all of my writing for school. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible. Maybe we could work more on this painting. And that's where I announce my schedule and what I'm doing, etc. is in the Discord. Lucas says, my brother used to paint, though. He used to have a gift, but he doesn't paint anymore. And Lucas says, I've never painted anything, but I assume it involves a lot of patience, I think. It does, but it's really satisfying, too. So it's one of those things, like, for me, I like to do it a little bit at a time and come back. And then when it's really done, it's like, wow. I think that increases the value of it, right? If you know that time and planning were invested in it. So I think these are all the things I'm going to need to clean. Trying to separate my stuff out. And then we'll move the camera over here like I was doing before, and then I switched gears. Try that. I don't know if that'll work or not. Maybe if I sit like this, is this better? Okay, so this will technically work, I think. Need my chat. Silver says 82 minutes. Thank you. Silver says, my grand's brother, when he was alive, did some painting. He had talent, did not do it all the time. I definitely go back and forth. Like, me pulling this stuff out of storage, I hadn't used it since I moved, and I hadn't painted. I don't think I'd really painted in quite some time even before I moved. So, like, this stuff was in storage for a long time. What does a painter typically do when visualize one thing, but during the process you start to visualize something else? Do you simply discard the painting? No, you can just keep working on it. In most cases, with oil, you have to plan things a little bit better, but you can still move stuff around with oil. And if you let it dry fully, you can technically paint over it as well. Oil takes a long time to dry, like weeks. Months, I think, to fully dry. Acrylic dries quickly. And if you're really trying to go from layer to layer with acrylic, there's a cheat where you can use a hair dryer to like speed up the process. So then that makes it so that even if you feel like you've made a mistake and you want to switch gears and do something else, you're actually fine because you can just like basically wait for it to dry and change it. Or if it's still wet, you can move it around. So that's why I like painting more than drawing personally. But yeah, I don't discard any paintings because I can let it completely dry, re-gesso it, and then just paint something over it. So that's actually why I still have a lot of unfinished paintings that I've showed y'all, because I don't know if I'm going to stick with the original idea of that, or if I'm just going to paint over it and do something else. Pardon me. Labyrinth says my grandfather painted too. Hey, speaking of Buc-ee's, ha ha ha, I have a Buc-ee's squishy. I think this is technically a water toy, but I liked how squishy it was. So it's in my squishy collection. It's like a pancake. Flipping a pancake, flipping a pancake. Yeah, flipping a pancake. Whoa. Okay. So we have this that we're working on. We're going to add some more names from the list to the Heartness Artness before we end and I go do my schoolwork because I had something due at midnight that I forgot about. I hope my teacher still lets me submit it. Hopefully. I forgot about it. I had too much going on this week. So we are going to do... Lucas says, nice try, Hologram Dahlia, but that fluffy pancake can't be more fluffy than Grr. Valid. I don't think it is more fluffy than Grr. So we have Nugzemi, 32 months on Twitch here, and Lucas Booze, 28 months on YouTube. I'm going to start by drawing a pink heart for Nugzemi. Or actually, I think I'll start by writing Nugzemi and then draw the heart around, because that's been working best, I feel like. Kind of putting a general area where it should be so that I know how big it should be. Nugzemi. Then I'm going to put a pink heart. Pink heart, pink heart, pink heart. Pink heart, pink heart. It's good for you. Pink heart, pink heart. Then I guess maybe it has yellow around it. I'm not sure. Haven't decided yet. So these are acrylic markers. Need to get some new acrylic markers. I've been using these for a long time. They're starting to wear out. Let me rephrase that. Nice try, pancake, but you're not more fluffy than Grr. Lol. You're funny, Lucas. Kerr's the fluffiest. And thanks for all the likes and subscribes today, guys. It means a lot to me. All right, let's see. So that needs to dry a little bit. I'm going to do, this is what I have so far. I'm going to do yellow around it. I don't know, yellow is going to be a little contradictory. No, I think it's a good idea because there's some yellow amongst it. So it kind of looks like it belongs there. Yellow around it. I feel like Commander Anderson's heart got a little bit put out by that. So we're going to redo the orange. Hi, Maria. Welcome. How are you doing? Oh, thank you so much. You're so nice. Are you having a good weekend so far? So let's add orange. Fixed up Commander Anderson's heart, so it's better again. And so now for Nugzemi, we just need to redo it in silver again. Thank you, Maria. Aw, you're so nice. It means a lot to me. I'm happy you're having a good weekend so far. So Nugzemi's name is in it now, and then we're just gonna put an outline around it. Iris says, I'm at McDonald's now, Dahlia. Ooh, what are you gonna have? Hi, Gustavo. Welcome. How are you? Hope you're having a nice day. Hi, Darth Toad. Happy you can make it in. How are you doing? I hope to have a burger today. I love some burgers. Leandro says good. Maria says, I'm going to Texas tomorrow. Cool. Are you doing something exciting in Texas? Anything you want to share? Are you excited for the trip? So Nugzemi's going to get a blue outline. I think that's good for Nugzemi. Right here. Leandro says, can you spell my name? I don't know if I can spell that. I've never learned how to spell that before. I haven't been programmed to. I have to wait for the programmer to program me for that. Lucas says, is McDonald's cheap in the US? It became really expensive here. It's too expensive for me to eat it. Maria says, my name's Maria. Darth Toad says, trying to figure out wedding stuff for Ada. Ooh. Are you getting married? Is Ada your girlfriend? I forget her name. Darth Toad says, yep. Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's so awesome. Do you guys have a date yet? Let's see. Next we have Lucas Booze. Lucas Booze will get Goldie. But first we're going to write I think it'll be yellow and purple this time. Most of these are yellow. I might have to do backwards. I might have to do green and yellow or something different for Lucas this time. How about green and yellow? Darth Toad says, not yet. Depends on if I get deployed. Makes sense. Irish Cat Legend says, a Big Mac is about to be here in Brandon, Florida. It's about $10 for the meal. Lucas says, used to be so cheap, and now we have to save money to go there. Thanks, Maria. Gardenigo says, yes, McDonald's has become expensive here too. Leandro says, can you say my name is my heart on red and blue? Oh, heartness, Leandro. I see what you mean. So these hearts each represent somebody who has monetarily supported the channels. So like that's by doing $1 or more super chat, by getting a membership, stuff like that. I think the cheapest membership is $1.99. But if one of those things occur, then I can put you on here. But otherwise, this is for people who are monetarily supporting the channel. And then it becomes the background for my paintings. So like this is a painting that we've been working on. We've been creating the background for it. And underneath, way underneath where you can't see anymore is actually a heartness artness. Just like this that got gessoed on. And this is one that's in the process of being gessoed after being completed full of hearts. So it's all a process. And it's going to end up being the foundation of the painting. Darth Toad says Far Cry 3 runs at 60 FPS on PS5 now. Just found that out. That's awesome! Irish Cat Legend says, I need to get some money from the Goth Girl Bank. Be right back. All right, Irish Cat Legend. That's epic. I'm happy that you're going to get some money from the Goth Girl Bank. It's so good that Goth Girl can support you like that. It's very important. Far Cry 4 runs that now too. Ooh. Labyrinth says, tonight going to have shrimp fried rice and beef bulgogi pot stickers. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Bulgogi is one of my favorite foods ever. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we're doing Lucas's heart. And I said I was going to do it in... I forget already. I already forget. I think I lost the markers, you guys. Man. Maybe it's these two. But yeah, we have to add some variety because we've just been doing the same colors over and over again. Lucas says, Labyrinth, a true mayor meal, 10 out of 10 choice. Thanks, Lucas. Assassin's Creed Unity runs at 60 FPS now. That's so great. Darth says, I was in Florida a few weeks ago. I got to drive the Maserati. Dude, nice. Yeah, there's a lot of really nice cars around here. It's not uncommon for me to see a car more expensive than a lot of people's houses just when I go to the grocery store. All right, so let's put Lucas down here. I'm gonna write it in yellow. Lucas Booze. Irish Cat Legend says, I live in Brandon, Florida. It's kind of so-so here. Maria says, bye, I have to leave. Sorry. Hope you have a great day today. Thanks for being here, Maria. See you later, Heartness. And thanks to everybody who's liking and subscribing as they go by. Joyce says, it's scary to drive. Thing is the price of a house, right? Well, and then in Florida, they also have a law where it's a no-fault state. So basically, whatever insurance you have pays for your accident. You don't get to use the other person's insurance without, like, suing them. So... But I'm sure that Maserati is probably very well insured. Darth Toad says, it is in Fort Lauderdale, roughly. Nice. Irish Cat Legend says, car accidents here in Brandon are common. I honestly think that the no-fault law is not great because then people drive crazily and there's, like, less consequence for it, you know? Because they'll never have to pay for the accident that they cause. However, like in the case of a really fancy car, and because they're so common here, I can see like that being more beneficial to them. So that's probably part of why that law exists. Hi, Brian. Welcome in. Good to see you. I'm a hologram. Let's see. Doop-a-doo. Hi, Stan. Welcome in. Hope you're doing great. So we're going to put Lucas Booze in yellow. I think I'm still waiting for it to dry all the way, though. Hi, Katie. Welcome in. Hope you're doing great. Hi, Julie. Welcome. Hope you're doing great. Thanks, everybody, for liking and subscribing as you go by. Okay, so Lucas Booze. I think when I start missing streams, you guys should remind me to change my schedule because it does seem like changing my schedule helps. I'm happy we've kind of gotten back in a groove. Then again, I was so busy. Maybe I shouldn't hate myself for it or be mean to myself for it. Like, I took on way too many classes last semester, but I still got A's in all of them, so I guess it was worth it in the end. And I made it so that they were all finalized on my transcript for my university application, so that's good too. I can't believe I graduate in a month, a little more than a month. That's crazy. Thank you, Julie. You're so sweet. It means a lot to me. You're welcome, Lucas. I'm happy you like this color choice. Silver says, wow, my net crashed. Had to reopen it. I think I tweaked the memory setting to use less to save on power. And I think when I have too many tabs open, it doesn't like it. Oh, yeah. A lot of tabs open does that for sure. Lucas says, it's an ocean of A's. Well done, Hologram Dahlia. Thank you. Silver says, one of David Gilmour's black Stratocaster guitars, Pink Floyd's guitar, is just sold for $14 million. Wow! That's incredible. Thank you, Julie. I really appreciate you liking the stream. It means a lot to me. Do you make any art, Julie? All right, so this is the heart for Lucas Booze. Yay. Julie says, yeah, drawing. Awesome. Julie says, I draw lips and people. That's so cool. I love that. Okay, so Lucas Booze is on here. Let's do one more from our backup. Where's our backup? Here's our backup. Man, we still have a big list of people. I think I've got like 3 pages, 2.5 pages of backup. Oh, 4 pages. That's all right. We'll get to it. 5 pages. I mean, as long as I keep marking them down and they eventually get on a canvas, right? That's really what matters. Thanks, Matt. Welcome. How are you doing? Can put Lindsay and Eileen, Matt says. Heartness, I would love to. So these each represent people who have monetarily supported one of the channels, whether it be the Twitch channel, the TikTok channel, the YouTube channel. So like here on YouTube, $1 or more super chat, or becoming a member, which I think the cheapest is like $1.99. That's how you get a heart. So we have a list. Once you do that, you get on the list, and this is the list of people. So there's a nice long list of people we're catching up on. Julie says, okay. So we've got Joshua Andrews. I think he was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here. Thank you, Matt. Super Heartness, you're so sweet. It means a lot to me that you love my work. So Joshua Andrews is next. Joshua Andrews can be up in this top corner. Assuming that I'm reading my own, I think it's Andrew Vez. Assuming that I'm reading my own handwriting correctly. Matt says, you have Cash App. I need to set that up. I don't. I do have a PayPal. So you could send it through PayPal if you wanted. But I think I did set up a Cash App, but I haven't really like used it, and it's not officially connected to my stream right now. That's been on my to-do list. So let's see. Green and purple kind of clash. What about... I don't know what color to use. Red? Thank you so much for the gift membership, Lucas. You're amazing. I hope that the Nexus database enjoys their gift sub or gift membership. Lucas, thank you for buying my face. Thank you, Lucas, for buying my face. Now friends can stamp it all over the place. Thank you for buying my face. Oh yeah. Thank you, Lucas, for buying my face. Thanks for the thought, Matt. But yeah, through YouTube is a good way to support me, or also PayPal is how you directly tip me. Since so many people are using Venmo and Cash App, I will eventually add those, but they are currently not added. Blue and purple, green and purple, pink and purple. Let's see. I mean, yellow and purple is not a terrible idea, but I think orange actually is probably what it's going to be, because I've got a little bit of orange there, so then it kind of fits the theme of what's going on here. Thank you, Julie. Hi, Owen. How are you doing? Welcome in. And thanks, everybody, for liking and subscribing as you go by. It means a lot to me. Is anybody on spring break this week? My spring break just started. I think spring breaks kind of like rotate depending on what school you're at, though. Who else has it this week like me? Silver says blue and purple goes well. I think they're next to each other on the rainbow. Julie says, I love your singing too. And yeah, I am. Awesome. Do you have anything fun that you plan to do this week? Oh yeah, I have to add Lucas here. Lucas, Booze, gift membership. We don't have spring break. We just had carnival. Awesome. How was carnival? Julie says, going to the lake. I would love to do carnival sometime. I want to eat lots of steak. Yum, yum, yum. Actually, in my Spanish class, we watched videos about carnival during carnival time. Thank you for subscribing, Julie Miller. That means so much to me. Super duper hardness, and welcome to the hologram, fam. Lucas says, I used to do a lot of carnival, but since I don't drink anymore, I just play games now. Fair. Yeah. I don't drink either, so I would just be pigging out on the food, probably. Well, I had originally intended to do purple with this, but I think that it has accidentally become blue, and that's going to be okay. So it's blue and orange. Those are technically complementary colors. So it's fine. It's good. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, Joshua Andrew Vez, thank you for your support. Yay! Julie says, I can't. That's okay. Also, everybody, just so you know, if you either don't want to or are not able to monetarily support, it's never required. It's definitely optional. It's just like an extra tip. And just by being present and watching the ads or letting the ads run, you guys are helping me a lot. So thank you so much. And shout out to YouTube for paying me for the ads. Y'all rock. So Lucas says the gamer's heart color choice is amazing too. Nice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the Gamers XL. So let's see. I think, what should the color be in the background here? How about some weird pink? No, this is not pink. This is silver. How about some red? This is not what you would anticipate to be here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I hope it doesn't mess up. I hope it looks good. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Now for the next one. Oh, we've got Kazuki. 3 months on YouTube. Is Kazuki still here? So let's get Kazuki on here. Lucas says, well done, YouTube. So we'll get Kazuki. How about green and white? Those seem like some nice colors. Silver and pink, that would be different. Ooh, yeah, that's good. We'll do that next time. Kazuki. Kazuki AI. Best friend Kazuki AI. At the top of the painting. This white's not working that well. Might have to switch it to pink, and then it'll be like watermelon colors. I think silver is actually working really good. Good idea, silver. Good idea to use silver, silver. Heartness, Julie. So Kazuki's going to have a silver heart. Silver because it sparkles and shines just like he does. So this is the basis for the heart for Kazuki AI. Silver heart. Julie says, gotta go, but you're fun to hang with. Thanks, Julie. It was fun to hang with you too. I hope we hang out again soon. Super heartness, and thanks for liking and subscribing. See you later. Thanks to everybody who's liking and subscribing as they go by. So we're going to wait for Kazuki AI's heart to dry. And I guess we also have Lucas Boo's gift membership we can do today as well. So this one's going to be red. Red with black. Where's the black? Here it is. Right here at the top. Lucas Boo's. So see this Lucas Goose, I like it. Lol. So this is where your spot's gonna be. I was holding it up to the chat phone for a second. That's funny. But yeah, let's get Lucas's heart. Black and red, black and red. Vampire colors, black and red. For vampires. Like Lucas. Just kidding, Lucas is not a vampire. But he's friends with one. Don't ask me how I know. Lucas says, thank you. I'm at the top of the world. I mean, heartness, artness. Yay, Lucas is at the top of the heartness, artness. Saved a place for Lucas at the top of the heartness, artness. Okay, this one's back to Kazuki. Kazuki AI. Kazuki AI needs a darker color. Maybe purple. I can't see it good enough. It says Kazuki AI. I really like the way his looks, actually. It's still got some green in the background. Has some unique elements to it. Unique elements. Now let's add some more red here. I think there's going to be red here too. So I don't think there's room for a heart there. Lucas says, I like this color combination. Silver says, Darth Maul is also black and red. Where's black and red? Oh yeah, true. Darth Maul. Silver says, Darth is a title like Vader and Maul. I wondered if it was a title or a race. I guess it's where Darth Sidious. I guess there's a Darth Sidious that I'm not familiar with. Yeah, Darth is like one of the highest rankings of the Siths. In fact, it might be the highest ranking. I can't remember. In Star Wars lore. Anybody know? Something I always thought was interesting about the Siths in Star Wars was the way that they get ranked up is by killing their master. So by being there, you know that your underlings are, at one point, somebody's going to try to kill you like all the time. It's just constantly people trying to kill each other. But that's how you rank up, is by killing your master. Seems like that eliminates any possibility of trusting the people you work with, right? No trust, just murder. Murder amongst them all. I'm going to change this to orange. I think that's good. And then let's finish Lucas's heart. So Kazuki AI is done. Lucas says, you train someone that will eventually kill you. Wonderful. And I mean, you know, like, obviously people probably try and fail. So it's not guaranteed, but like, that is how you rank up. constantly training people, then killing them when they try to take over your spot, and then eventually losing, and then they take over your spot. Silver says, it's called the dark side. Come join us. We have cookies. I made Lucas a vampire heart. That's why the tail is so pointy. Lucas Boo's vampire heart. Trying to get it in the camera, and I think I'm going the wrong way. So hold on. There it is. It's the red one at the top. Lucas Boo's with the vampire heart. Okie dokie. So I think that's good for today. We'll be doing this again next week, I assume. Updates are always provided in Discord, so please join if you're interested in knowing when and where I'll be streaming next. But I can tell you for this weekend, I will be on Twitch tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern playing New Vegas, and also on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern playing New Vegas. So those are on Twitch. Also, don't forget to check out DahliaTheHologram.com. That's where I have all of my other links if you want to follow me on some of my other socials. You can also find a selection of videos there and some merch. So, check it out. But I appreciate everybody being here. Let me switch my camera around so I can say my goodbyes and whatnot. Lucas says, always nice to see you, Hologram, Dahlia, in chat. See you guys tomorrow. It's always nice to see you too, Lucas. Thank you so much to the mods for being amazing while we worked on our little art projects. I really appreciate it. It's been a good day. Happy we did this. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here while we worked on art, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care of yourself this weekend, and I hope that you have a really nice afternoon. Super duper heartness. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. See you later.